Hello and welcome to the AQ News for this week. Let's get right into it. Okay, starting off this week, we have a brand new update for the client. Crazy that the client's getting updated with new features and stuff. I guess hiring Spider, you kind of get some new features. So, Battle Analyzer was added, wiki buttons, and a few other things. So, disabling damage numbers will help with lag and PvP a little bit too. So the damage numbers aren't blocking your clicks onto players in PvP. Probably helpful for Blood Brawl, I would imagine. And yeah, some other things were added as well, like being able to hide the UI and other things like that. Very, very cool. If you're wondering what a battle analyzer is, I'll give a quick rundown of it. It basically just tracks a bunch of things that happen in battle, like the XP you earn, the gold you earn, the damage you done, all that stuff. It even has a little DPS counter. So when you're using a class, like for example, the one I'm using right now, Artifact Hunter, it tells you how much DPS you're doing, how much damage you've done in the amount of time it's been recording the battle. So it's good for, let's say you want to test out a different enhancement on a class, or you get a new weapon that has damage boost on it, you want to see how much that damage boost changed your DPS. It's really helpful for that sort of thing. So yeah, check it out, really cool. And there's a hotkey for it as well, which you can change hotkeys now as well on the client. So if you want to change your keybinds, there is a menu for it. So yeah, no matter what, I think you can even rebind your jump button, like basically everything, your skills. So if you want to put your skills on different than on the numbers on your keyboard, you can put them in a different place. Yeah, you could basically move them around anywhere. Really, really cool. And yeah, great that there's keybinds for all that stuff now. The wiki was integrated into the client in a pretty cool way now as well. So if you click on a monster, you can click on them and wiki them. So let's say you want to check what kind of drops the monster has or whatever, you can just click on the wiki and it'll bring you here, and it shows you that he drops an axe and a treasure chest. Every monster drops a treasure chest, so not a crazy thing. So you can see, oh yeah, if I farm him, I can get this axe. Pretty cool. So yeah, that's really good functionality for the game. That same wiki works with characters, so if you see a character that maybe has a cool spear or whatever, you can click on them, character page them, it'll pop up. You click on their spear, and that'll pop up the wiki now, so you can quickly check to see where they got the spear, and you'd have the item to donate that if you wanted these spears. So yeah, 1200 ACs too, rather expensive. Okay, so there were also some pretty major class changes, like, yeah, pretty substantial. Let's start off with the VHL. It's one of the most item donated classes in the game. So a lot of people have it. It basically all around just got in a huge buff, probably the biggest buff I've ever seen on any class ever, at least that I can recall. I don't think they've ever given a bigger buff to any class. Maybe if someone in the comments knows a bigger one that was ever given out, let me know. I'd be interested to know. But this seems like the biggest buff ever. I won't go over it, but you should read it on screen right now. VHL, I think, it's doing more damage than a lot of counter classes now, and yeah, it still has the same amount of survivability and everything, which is, yeah, so they didn't really remove anything from it, they just gave it a lot more damage. So yeah, good for that. Vindicator, they got a pretty big nerf. The stun is half the amount of time now, so it'll be less annoying to PvP against, which in my opinion is good. If you like PvPing with that class, maybe that's a bad thing for you, but I think the stun was very annoying in PvP. I remember that because it was one of the classes that people would use in PvP back when I PvP'd. So Shadow Walker, Stalker, Weaver, SSOT, it got a massive, as big as you could imagine nerf. The dot no longer scales as high as it did. I think it caps at like 40k damage on the dot now, which is really sad because probably some of the most fun I've had in this game was with SSOT and the Leprechaun glitch back in the day, and you could hit like millions and millions of damage very quickly, very easily. You can't do that. Well, you couldn't do that for a while now since they patched the Leprechaun glitch, but you can't even scale it even close to that high anymore, or it caps at 40, so around 40, I think. And you would, if you just like glance at this, it says they increase damage on everything, but it doesn't matter. They kneecap the class really hard. And a few other classes got changes as well. Pretty big nerf for Frost Spirit Reaver, which was a pretty dominant PvP class, which is now not the case, especially with the VHL buff. So VHL gets buffed, Spirit Reaver gets nerfed. SSOT gets nerfed. What the other one, Dragon of Time got a little bit of a buff, but it got a PvP nerf. So they just want you to only use VHL in PvP, I guess. What's the other PvP class that got nerfed? Vindicator got nerfed. So they just want you to use VHL in PvP, just VHL versus VHL versus VHL, only PvP of VHL. You know, maybe if you got a few hero points to spend, you can use the Great Thief. I can never remember the name of that. Maybe you can use Great Thief if you got a few hero points to spend. But other than that, just use VHL, I guess. The massive nerf on SSOT actually procked a little bit of a backlash towards the change that they made, and a statement was made that they see from the comments the changes are needed. Work on the class will continue this week, so I think they might try to put a little bit more power into SSOT from what it is right now, but that hasn't happened, and this was posted quite a few days ago at this point. So I don't know what they're going to do with SSOT. I can't see the infinite stacking being returned to it. They wanted to remove that, and they finally did, and it's probably been something they've been wanting to remove for a while. They thought now with all the changes, it's a good time to slip it in there, you know, when they're making a bunch of changes to a bunch of classes. So yeah, Dragon of Time doesn't compete against VHL, so it would be nice if it got a little bit of a buff. Maybe it was out healing VHL's damage. Well, it definitely wouldn't be now, but I don't know why they didn't buff it more. It kind of deserves a little bit of one. Anyway, moving on. I thought this was speaking of PvP, I thought this was kind of interesting. 84% of people have near 0% time playing PvP when they play the game, which makes a lot of sense considering there's no incentive to PvP. And even if there was an incentive to PvP, have fun, because it's all Void High Lord. Not just Void High Lord, there's a few other really powerful classes that people like to use, but just a bunch of cheese basically. So yeah, so it's very understandable that 84% of people don't do any PvP in AQ. I come off as like a Void High Lord hater or something like that. I'm not. I get it's the protagonist for this game. It's the protagonist class. Dragon of Time isn't. That's just lore. That doesn't matter at all. I know Void High Lord is the actual protagonist. Anyway, commission done for Dark Edda. Very good one from Krumlong here. Some very nice art, some AQ flash art, as well as some traditional art, which looks great on both of them. Yeah, really well done art there from Krumlong. Also, what might be a teaser for his Talk Like a Pirate Day art, a flaming cutlass here with a kind of like a stone blade on it, which yeah, looks really decent. And yeah, if there is a matching armor, can't wait to see what that looks like. We're getting another part of the Darkened Saga later this month, and with that comes a new NPC, Mai, which is the second last one from the Do Re Mi Fa Sol La Ti Do. I think it's the last one. Well, second last. We have one more. Just Do, I think. And yeah, so there will be a character version of this that will be available in the future, but not this month, sadly. So yeah, we'll get to see the character in game, but we will not be able to have the armor. An elegant necromancer from Hikari. Probably, I don't know, will this be Halloween? I guess we're getting closer and closer to Halloween, and there has been a lot of Halloween stuff made. It might be for the Friday 13th, that is this month, maybe. But yeah, we'll have to wait for that. Kotaro with a prototype Chrysalis Goliath. Yeah, really large arm. Can you do that on an AQ set? You probably can, right? On armor? Are there restrictions to that in game? I actually don't know. But yeah, it looks rather decent. A nice commission there. Furo with what is a pirate armor. It's not a naval commander from what I understand. It's not a pirate captain either. It's, yeah, just kind of its own thing. So maybe like a farming reward or something like that for September. Talk about Pirate Day. And I don't know if it'll be color custom either. But yeah, even with the purple and blue, looks rather good. Hopefully we see more of it. The boots usually are whether or not it's good or not for me. Usually it's either some really ugly boots or the boots look pretty decent. It's one of those two things usually ruin the pirate armors for me. So I have to wait to see that. Steve with some really cool outfits, actually a lot of them. So this one with like the sweaters and all that looks really nice, simple design. Hopefully maybe color custom on the white, the two-tone one would be sick. If you could pick both sides of the colors, that'd be really nice. But yeah, really nice there. The AX is kind of like his fashion brand for the game. really cool. Actually got some swimwear in the game with that branding on it in the 10K chest recently, so that's cool. Some more with kind of same branding, but different outfits, of course. Really cool looking stuff, all the hairstyles and all that. Yeah, so some really good stuff there from Steve. And finally, some sportwear as well to end that off. So yeah, so just some really good stuff from Steve. And yeah, go check him out on Twitter if you're not following him already. Shadow Fury set from Fironius. This one looking very nice. I don't know if it's intended to be like Legion sort of colors, but it kind of does remind me of that sort of thing. Yeah, really nice gold variant as well. Really cool. Also a Regal Vindicator. So yeah, based off Vindicator V, of course, but kind of a little bulkier, you know, a little bigger. So yeah, these look really neat as well. Van with some anime inspired sets. I've not seen any of the source material myself. These are the references that were used for these outfits. So yeah, I think it did a very good job on them, of course. So yeah, good stuff there. Katie with a really cool pink set with the hearts and roses and all that. Yeah, really nice. Love the shape of the cape. Yeah, I think that actually look really nice on a character in the game. So you can see it actually on the character there. Yeah, really cool stuff there with this set. As far as drops go for this week, we have a few, including one for Van's birthday. It's a hot dog and a marshmallow. I think it's a marshmallow on a stick. Rather odd. I haven't seen that or had anything like this before, but interesting enough as well. So you can get that as a weapon in Laguna Beach. So go pick that up if you would like it. It is rare. Some really cool drops for Singapore's National Day. I'm pretty sure. Yes. Those are available in the river map, and a whole lot of surfboards. So the image is all filled in now. All the surfboards are available, and they're all from Burning Beach from the Shark. So yeah, go pick those up if you haven't got the surfboards. They're all AC tagged. I don't think they're exactly rare, but they are available. Huge thanks to all the channel members for supporting the channel, making videos like these possible. Really appreciate it, and thanks for the continued support on the channel from all the members. Really appreciate that. Thanks. And thanks for watching. If you like the video, leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you're not already, and I'll see you guys all tomorrow for the stream or next week for another news video. Bye bye.